Hey guys, Camper15 back out with another video for you guys, joined by my co-host Red Wolf. We are back with a fairy tale anime episode review for you guys as we continue on with the Fairy Tale Guild and the 100-year quest. This week I think we make the most progress in terms of the story. We get understanding about Mercphobia, Touka being the White Witch, Diablos members, badassery. Look, I'm just great. Now, before we talk about the episode, I do want to go a little bit off on a tangent, and that's the fact that the Fairy Tale English dub has finally come back.
Hi, I'm hyped, guys. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to hear Todd Habercorn, Jeremy Lee, all those good people.
Yeah. I did watch the first episode. Did you finish watching it?
I didn't watch it yet, but
Okay.
I had to take my shower. So.
Look, I'm just happy that the English dub is back. Again, my co-host just said it best. To hear Todd Habercorn as Natsu again, to hear Jeremy Lay as Lucy again, to hear Colleen Klingenbeard as Urza, Rennie Karbowski, when you name it, all the characters. Brina Palencia as Juvia. Oh my god.
Still got it. She still got it.
It brings back so many memories from when I watched the original anime and how I got entrenched in this show. The English dub is what made me love Fairy Tale. And I'm so glad that they brought it back. And the crazy part is, it wasn't that long of a wait. I thought it would be like a while till we get an English dub announcement.
Me too. We're only like 3 episodes in, and then they're already starting to dub.
Already subbing the dub, and the dub is only 2 episodes behind every week. This might be the only English dub I actually watch on a week-to-week basis alongside the sub version. Because usually when I watch anime and they have a corresponding dub, I wait till mostly all the dub episodes are dubbed, and then I kind of just do a binge watch of the dub. This, I'm sorry, I love these characters so much. The dub, I'll be watching this dub weekly, even if it's refreshing my memory and seeing episodes that I may have seen 2 weeks ago. But it's great to hear all the characters again. I thought they did a phenomenal job. Obviously, I have to get readjusted to their voices again, playing the characters because it's been so long.
Yes.
Yeah,
And also Cameron did mention that there are some voice changes for some of the characters.
There are some voice changes. I don't know if that's gonna for what will go on for like the next few episodes, because like for example in this week's episode we run into Ichia's group, Mermaid Heel, so I don't know if any of those voice actors for the dub will return, but mostly from what the English dub cast came out with so far in terms of a casting list, every character who reprised the role from the original series is coming back with the exception of Levi and Panther Lily's voice actors. I forgot what Panther Lily's voice actor's name, but I know Levi's voice actress name is Kathy Keel. The reason why they didn't reprise their roles is, number one, it's been a very long time. If you go through like their voice acting career, they haven't voice acted in an anime in like 5 years. And then I think Kathy Keel ended up actually retiring from voice acting in anime. And then that was really around the time of COVID. So that plays a role. Now, when I listen to their voices, in terms of Levi's voice, it's going to be something that obviously I'm going to have to get adjusted to and just continue to listen. It just sucks that it's not the original one, but regardless, I'm still going to support the new one. Because I think she did a really solid job. And then Panther Lily, albeit his voice actor is different, it does sound somewhat similar, but it's still it's still a different voice, but mostly all the characters come back. Gildart is still voice acted by Jason Douglas, and if you watch the dub, you're wondering, why does he sound different? Now, I don't know why Jason Douglas sounds different. Maybe he wants to make Gildart sound a little bit older or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
I don't know if Gildarts wants to sound, if he wanted Jason Douglas to make Gildarts sound a little bit older. I don't know, but his voice sounded a lot different than regular Gildarts because if you heard Gildarts in the original series, he literally sounded like his Beerus voice. So I don't know. Maybe there's a reason why he changed the way he talks as Gildarts. I don't know. Maybe he's getting readjusted back to the role, or maybe that's just a director change in terms of the voice.
Maybe his IRL self is getting too old already.
That could be too. Which whenever Dragon Ball comes back, maybe his Beerus voice will sound different. I don't know.
Beerus already sounds old, but
but we'll see. But regardless, the English dub sounds good. I'm gonna be very interested to see. I thought what's her face? The voice actress that plays Touka, she also voice acts the girl Sei from the Saint's Magic Powers Omnipotent. She also voices Kono from Horimiya, which is the green-haired girl. I thought she did really solid as the voice actor.
Kono Sakura?
Huh?
Kono Sakura?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that actress' name is Lindsay Sedale. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, in the comment section. But I thought she sounded great. I thought she sounded great as Touka. And I'm definitely looking forward to see how she continues to sound like in the coming episodes. As for the other characters, I don't know if they'll be reprising their roles. Like Ichi, I hope Ichi's voice actor comes back because I do want to hear him say, "Man." And then the other characters as well. It's gonna be interesting to see who gets to voice act Scullion, Kyria. I'm very interested to see who's gonna voice act Kyria.
Of course, you. Yeah, of course.
I have a feeling it's gonna be Alexis Tipton.
I'd be all for it.
I could see Alexis Tipton voice acting Kyria, but I feel like they gotta get no. You know who I think would be a good voice actress for Kyria?
What?
The voice actress that does Caulifla's voice from Dragon Ball Super. I can see that.
I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Oh, listen. I don't. They probably already casted whoever they casted for Kyria, but I swear I kind of hope it's her. She gives me that type of voice acting vibe.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Oh, holy hell! Again, I don't know. Again, apologies if I'm not saying the voice actress's name. I don't know these things off the top of my head, so I'm just going off character voice actors. So that's the thing. It's gonna be interesting to see who they voice act. It's gonna be interesting to see. I know that's going a little bit future, but we know. I'm gonna be very interested to see who's gonna voice act Ignia. I won't go into who his character is. Obviously, manga people like me and my co-hosts know who Ignia is. It's gonna be very interesting to see what returning voice actors do come back, but at the same time, seeing what new actors come into the series to voice certain characters that we're looking very forward to seeing animated. So, apologies. I wanted to go off on a quick tangent about that because I know Fairy Tail is a very big English dub fan base. Look, it's just great to hear these characters again. So, if you like the English dub of Fairy Tail, you can watch it now. It's streaming on Crunchyroll. Now this video is probably going up Monday. It's streaming now, and you'll be able to see it. So, anyways, let's get into this week's episode of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest. This is our episode 3 review. And basically, it's the introduction to Mercphobia and what he's about. And getting a good understanding. At the same time, we also get backstory about Touka. Well, not backstory about Touka, but we get understanding about Touka's true identity. And then we find out that we get Fairy Tail versus Diablos.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's talk about the Mercphobia stuff first. So, last week we left off with Mercphobia parting the seas like he's Moses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry for the biblical reference.
Shout out to God.
Anyways, he parts the sea. Now, what happens is he's like, what the hell is going on in my sea? Now, at first, what happens is Kyria and who's the armor dragon slayer name again?
Oh my god, why do we keep characters' names?
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm looking. I'm looking it up. I'm not gonna forget these names.
You're looking it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
All right, tell me when you have it. Anyways, they end up going there. They end up like saying, "Oh, so you're the water god dragon," and Kyria is just like, "All right, let's go. I'm gonna freaking eat you and everything." But then all of a sudden, you just have it to where these ash starts forming around them, and they're like, "Wait, what the hell?" And then that's when Kyria is like, "Scallion, damn it! Why are you doing this now?" And then they're just gone.
Okay, so yeah, the ash dragon is called Scallion, and okay, let's see. Look.
You got it.
No, not yet.
But anyways, continuing on. Basically, Mercphobia talks to our fairy tale crew, Natsu and company, and he asks them, he's like, "So, what are you guys here?" And basically, they tell him like, "Look, dude, we're here to seal you." And basically, he's like, "Oh, you're doing Elf Seria's 100-year quest task, are you? You're here to assassinate me, huh?" Now, Natsui's like, whoa, we're not here to assassinate you. That is barring you're not a bad guy. If you're a good guy, then we ain't trying to hurt you or anything. So that's when Mercphobia is like, "Oh, you know what? You guys actually aren't that bad. You know, I like you guys. You're definitely different from the other assassins that always come to kill me." So apparently, it seems like he's giving Fairy Tail a chance. And plus, he's seemingly enough taking an intrigue into them as well. So it's nice to know that Fairy Tail's still making friends every now and then. So that's kind of the thing right then and there. So we continue on. He's like, "All right, can we come to my palace? I would like to actually have a sit down talk with you." You got the dude's name?
I'm looking. Cool. Don't wait for me. Keep going.
Sorry. Anyways, he continues on with his voice. Or they go to his palace, and basically his palace is, even though it's underwater, there's air. And they obviously are walking around. Now the funny part is Wendy is still in her jellyfish form from what Lucy Spirit did, and she's just like, "Oh man, I wish I was a freaking human again." And then Mercphobia is like, boom, turns her back into her regular Wendy self that we all love, right?
Yep.
So anyways, basically they're like, "Wait, you can undo magic like that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can do magic like that. That's like a simple spell, essentially."
He basically said he can undo that kind of he can undo magic of that level.
Yes. Now we get introduced to another new character. Who is that new character, Denzel? Very. Woo.
Oh, yeah, very. Well, hang on, I'm searching for his name right now. So you take it from here, man.
It's fine. We don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll get it.
Hey.
You don't have to worry about it. Anyways, who appears amongst the crew, which is his attendant, I guess you can say.
Oh shit, I forgot her name.
Hold on. I got it. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry we're so unprepared. Caramel.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's Caramel's whole detail? And what's kind of her little bit backstory that Mercphobia tells the Fairy Tale Guild?
Apparently, Mercphobia saved her from a. She was raised by humans, but she saved him. He saved her.
Yes. And I guess you can say she's kind of indebted to him because of that?
I guess so. It seems like her kind of backstory is like she doesn't get along with humans or something.
Yeah, he talks about he tells the Fairy Tale Guild, because the Fairy Tale Guild is obviously like, so, because they're shocked, like, wow, you know, you're really interacting with humans and everything. You're peaceful. And he's like, yeah, I'm peaceful now, but back then, like, don't get shit wrong. I killed people, a lot of people. And he talks about how like he hated humans back in the past and everything. And that he did all these things, and the reason why he met Caramel was he actually was like attacking like her parents' ship or whatever, but then he saw her in danger, and then he ended up saving her, and then next thing you know, Caramel's just been attached to this guy since then. Now, personally, if you ask me, it seems like Caramel just doesn't want to be his attendant. She wants to be something more than just an attendant to Mercphobia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can clearly see them being a thing.
Now, how does Caramel treat Fairy Tail members?
Pretty coldly. She just turns away and then walks off.
Yeah. No. Yeah, she's one of the very voluptuous fairy tale girls we see in this series. So there's that. Anyways, now Mercphobia, he does tell the Fairy Tail Guild he actually does want them to do a favor for him, and that's basically from the standpoint, like they want to help him. He wants them to help them find the person who took his dragon power or his magic power from him, and that person is called the White Witch. And they're like, wait, the White Witch? So the thing that's going on in the town. So number one, we find out he ended up taking over this town, the town of Ermina. We find out like, okay, the fishes are actually, all the fishes in this town are actually all humans. And Mercphobia was the reason how he was able to turn them into fishes, to be able to breathe underwater and everything. That makes sense of why the butler fish was able to turn into a human. Now the thing is, the reason why he needs their help too is he can't control his power. He says his power is kind of like out of control, it's unstable. And the reason, and that's why there's always these high tides, and that's why in the last episode the fish butler told him like, hey, you need to drink this so you can be able to breathe underwater. He basically keeps saying like, listen, you know, my power is out of control because I don't have my true ultimate dragon god powers. Because it was taken from the White Witch. It keeps
by the White Witch.
Yeah, by the White Witch. I said that right.
You said it right. Or White Mage. White
Witch. White Witch is a tongue twister.
Yeah. Yeah.
He keeps talking about how the sea level keeps rising and everything. Now Natsu and the others are like, wait, why not just evacuate the humans and get out and have them get out? He's like, yeah, I could do that, but the tides are just gonna follow them regardless, and it's gonna go into the next town, to the next town, to the next town. So basically, he'd be creating mass flooding, essentially, because of his power of being unstable. So essentially, they have to find the White Witch, to be able to seal his powers, and then his powers in control. Now that obviously leads into the whole Diablos guild showing up, but even before that, we do cover Diablos on their ship, and we see to where Kiri is upset at Skallion for like bringing them back, and she's like, why'd you bring us back? You know, I was right there, I was gonna eat his ass. Excuse me, no homo, get it out through mine of the gutter, we get it.
What do you mean no homo?
I said a girl eating a guy's ass.
That's not homo.
Well, get your mind out of the gutter. How about that?
Better.
All right. And basically Skallion, who, listen, his design, when I first saw him in the manga, his design is badass. It's literally a dragon slayer wrapped around skull and bones. That's his literal armor. Probably one of the badass looking fairy tale designs.
Yeah, I agree.
He basically tells him like, listen, that ain't the water god dragon. His power ain't there. And then after Mercphobia tells Fairy Tail about everything, that's when they appear. But let's cut away for a second before we got back to Diablos versus Fairy Tail. We cut back over to what's going on currently in Fairy Tail. And Jellal and Juvie are still on the hunt to prove if Touka is who she says she is not. And Levy is getting quite annoyed by this stupid shit. She's like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm not messing around with this anymore. And it's funny because she ends up talking about like, why are you guys like stalking our new friend? Gajil, hey, listen, he makes a damn good point. He's like, you know, or well, at first, Levy's like, why are we talking to our new friend? We should be treating our friend with kindness and caring. But then Gajil makes a good point back to his beloved Levy. He's like, well, remember when I first got to Fairy Tale, your quote unquote family didn't treat me right. And what does Levy say?
That's because you were terrible back then.
And listen, she was right about that point too. Listen, man was evil back early stage Fairy Tale.
I like how like they're going back and forth like a actual
Like
married
couple. She's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. I'm not messing with you anymore. You can do what you want to do. Got other things to worry about because right now I'm pregnant.
But well, yeah, and then after she leaves, Gachia makes a good point. Also, like, have to make sure that she's actually safe to protect Levy.
Yeah. See, now here's the thing. Why not just tell that to your girl? Just say, look, I'm worried about this new chick coming into the guild. I think she's dangerous because she knew an enemy from our past. I want to make sure she's good so you're protected and our baby's protected. See, if he said that, I think Levy would actually be understanding.
Then again, being pregnant does make a woman a little more, you know.
Yeah, I know, but isn't she like, she's only in the early stages of her pregnancy because she doesn't have like a big belly yet still. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, Gajil could have said like, look, I'm just worried about your safety. That's all a man could have said. See, then she would have been swooning all over him. She'd have been like, oh, I understand, Gajil. He might have got a kiss out of that too. Have we ever seen them kiss on? Oh, we have seen them kiss on screen.
Well, I wouldn't call it a kiss, but it is a mouth-to-mouth moment. It was a mouth-to-mouth.
I don't give a shit. I call that moment from the Tartarus arc a kiss.
Yeah.
That was a kiss.
Yeah. Although Gajo didn't even know it.
I think he did realize that later on. They both realized that they kissed each other later on after that moment.
No, Levy realized she kissed him. Levy realized she kissed him early on, but Gajo didn't know. He thought she used solid script air on him.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he thought that, but Levy was like I should have done that from the beginning.
Listen, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Levy X Gajil is probably it's up there for best ship, but in terms of the way they told that story, it's so adorable.
Yeah.
Cute girl that's always good for nothing falls for the bad boy, I guess you can say. Ends up becoming a good boy. But it still has those bad boy tendencies.
The Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Anyways. So we get that whole thing. So they're following Touka around, and where does Touka go first?
She goes to. It wasn't Lucy's place first, right?
No.
What's the first place? Where was the first place?
Natsu's house.
Yeah, not. Oh yeah, yeah. She was like, she stands in front of Natsu's house, and then I'll see her go like, Natsu-sama.
And then God will get the backhanded comment. He's like, you know, she's actually starting to remind me a lot of someone. And he looks over at
yeah. And Jimmy was all making that face.
Oh my god. And then she's even hugging up on the fucking sign, like, oh my god, just like, you're doing a little bit too much, girl. Then where does she go?
I can't wait to see this stuff. Then she went to what looks to be Lucy's place.
Lucy's? You said Luffy.
Lucy.
Okay. Go on.
Yes, and apparently he lives next to Lucy. The same building, but different apartment. And Gajio and Juvia climbed up to take a peek, and they start panicking when she suddenly slowly starts to strip. And then they fall.
Well, Juvia protects Gajil's eyes, and she's like, you cannot see this, because Juvia knows, like, you're basically a married man. If you see this, Levy's gonna be pissed. I'm not letting you do this. And then Kaja's like, no, I need to see this for evidence.
But then, but then all of a sudden they both fell, and then Gagio falls on top of Julia. At the moment Levy was right there, she gives him that dead stare.
She's just like, she gives him the death stare, and she's like, and then they're just like, no, it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. And then she's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna act like this day ain't I'm just gonna go on and do my business. Gaja in the doghouse, guys. He's already in the doghouse. Well, actually, no, not really. He's not really in the doghouse, because at the end of the episode, she does understand where he's coming from. But it's like, when you saw that moment, I'm like, Ninja, you already in the fucking doghouse. You don't do. Yeah. Remember, men do not pounce on another woman while you're dating another woman, even if it's by accident, because then your woman's gonna get the wrong impression. Mind you, also a pregnant woman too.
Yeah.
And like my friend said, pregnant women typically have mood swings, and they see that they might actually legitimately kill you. Now, the interesting thing is when Touka undressed, we see a tail.
That same tail from last few episodes.
Yeah. So they didn't see that. Now, if they had seen that, they would have known something is up. Now that's when we cut back over to Jellal. Jellal's been going around these other guilds. Like now, then he goes over the mermaid heel. We see Ichiya doing his man dancing. Then we see the other guys, and then we see Jenny. I love Jenny. Jenny's cute. He's also kind of somewhat a Lucy clone. I could see why people can confuse her with Lucy.
Yeah. No.
Whatever. Anyways, he talks about, like, he told Sabretooth about, like, staying away from this girl, but it seems like Mermaid Heel has no idea who she is. And Jallal's like, all right, cool. All right, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. He sounds like he wants nothing to do with you.
The only thing that says, keep your distance from this woman.
Yes. Now he ends up going to Kagura's place, which it's nice to see Kagura. She is wholesome. Urza's adopted little sister, even though I technically consider Wendy more of an adopted little sister to her.
Although she does have her moments.
But basically Kagura tells Jellal, like, oh yeah, I've seen her. She's been with the Fairy Tale Guild. And that's when Jallal's like, no.
Yeah. It was at that moment he knew they fucked up.
Yes. He also makes the mention to, I think he was telling this to Mermaid Hill, like saying like, oh, or no, it was Kagura. He said like, oh, she's the White Witch. And then, well, he mentions like, oh, Touka's the White Witch. And then you cut over to Touka while she's in the bath, and she gives a very evil look.
I mean, that's to be expected.
Eyes all whited out because she's the White Witch, and she looks all evil and everything while she's taking a bath. So, that's your fan service moment one of your fan service moments of the episode. So that's where and then we get left off on kind of a cliffhanger, with Jellal finally confronting Touka because Touka's walking back to Fairy Tale saying like, oh my Natsu darling, and then Jellal is literally in the rain, no umbrella. He's like, I finally found you, White Witch. And then they're confronted. So where that storyline goes, I guess we'll find out next week. Cutting back to Fairy Tale. So the Diablos Guild appears before them. Scullion, Curia, and then Armor Boy, that we will get his name right next week. So, and this was where we start having the fights. So we have Curia versus Urza. We have Scullion versus Gray, and then we have Dragon Armor Boy versus Natsu. Now, at first, Natsu tries to fight Scullion, but what is the thing about Scullion that is crazy?
He can turn anything into ash.
Yes. He basically does the Smoker from One Piece. They can't hit him. So, what happens is, on Natsu's end, he tries to fight against Armor Boy, and he's using some of his best attacks. They ain't working. He even uses Fire Dragon King Destruction Fist. That's probably, if not one of his strongest attacks,
if not the strongest.
And that he ends up actually getting hurt from that attack, and he ends up getting thrown to their ship. And he, obviously, we know he has motion sickness. But the catch is, it seems like the fifth generation Dragon Slayers don't have motion sickness, because we even saw earlier in the episode that they were unaffected by being on a boat. So it seems like that is a strength that they have as opposed to first generation. And then the Armor was like, you first generations or you old generation Dragon Slayers ain't that impressive. Gray's fighting against Scullion, who looks badass. Their fight was cool. Gray had to actually go into his freaking Demon Slayer mode to freaking try to at least freeze him up a bit. But even then, Scullion was just turning his attacks to ash. And he was turning everything to ash. So how that fight's gonna go, I don't know. But maybe Gray might need to use more of that demon slaying magic, and maybe that might have an effect. And then Scullion picks up the fact that, like, that ice ain't just regular ice. And also, too, I smell demon blood. Something. So maybe he might take some intrigue. Maybe he wants to take a bite out of Gray to take some demon magic.
Yeah, he did say that. Like, I probably should have said something before trying to eat you.
Now I'll leave your favorite character to tell how that fight goes.
Yes. Yeah. Apparently the Urza and Kyria are clashing, and Kyria makes a mention. You're really strong, and Urza makes a mention. I'm fighting, and my sword is to protect my friends. And Kyria's like, I like you, but I want to cut this short real quick, literally.
Yeah.
She cuts some sort of energy through Urza, and apparently she cut Urza's will to fight.
Essentially, like her, I guess bravery also too. If you want to say that.
Yeah, bravery, dignity. All you can think of, like, after she cuts Urza like that, Urza like suddenly looks down at herself. She's wearing a swimsuit, and all of a sudden she's all embarrassed. Like, everybody's all looking like, what's up with Urza? And Kyria basically cut Urza as a fighting spirit.
Yeah, and then she's
and now Urza is as submissive as a child.
Yeah, and because Kyria's like, why don't you call me Kyria-sama? She's like, Kyria-sama, and then she's like, why don't you give me respect? And she bows down before her and everything, and I'm just like, this is not my Urza. This is not my Urza. Wendy ends up getting involved. She goes into her dragon her Dragon Force mode, which odd to me is, I think, her Super Saiyan mode, really, because her hair changes to purple. That's just me personally, I know. We're running out of time. She tries to hit Kyria, but Kyria dodges the attack, and Kyria's like, wow, I didn't know there were Dragon Slayers who were kids too, and they're this strong. That's crazy. Lucy then gets involved. She uses her magic. You get your second fan service moment of the episode, because literally Kyria gets stuck in the ground, and legitimately the camera's only focused on where her tits are at.
That was crazy. And it triggered Wendy.
Yeah, and because Kyria's making talk about like being all big and everything, and Wendy's just like, stop talking about being so big, as she looks at her chest.
We're only 2 minutes left into the recording. What?
Yeah. So really, that's where the episode ends off, because eventually all the fairy tale characters, they all get beat. Lucy, Wendy, Urza is obviously down for the count. Natsu is kind of in a sticky situation because he's got motion sickness. And then Gray also is a little bit beat up too. They're all basically in a very tough situation. And Diablos is getting the upper hand. So we're actually seeing how strong these freaking these 5th generation dragons slayers are. And it's very impressive. But that's all I gotta say. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, just looking forward to the next one because Fairy Tail always gets me giddy.
Yep. Also looking forward to the next week's episode of the English dub as well. So yes. Again, apologies for getting this video out late. A lot of stuff came up this weekend and things like that. But yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more content on the channel, as well as not only subscribe to my channel, hit the link below in the description below to get a link to my co-host channel, and you can check out his videos on his end. Until then, guys, catch you guys in the next video. See you guys later. Peace.